let me tell you the real story about being an entrepreneur, being a freelancer, being a creative entrepreneur. It's tough, man. Today's video is not going to be a long one. It's going to be a brief one, but I just wanted to, talk to, a couple of people out there about, what it is to be a creative entrepreneur, to be a freelancer, to try to build your own business and, try to get things how you live. And I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. It's not easy, dog. I'm about to step out right now to go handle some business. So I'm doing this one, quick from the phone. But yeah, man, I just got off the phone today with a couple of associates that I work with, man, and we were just talking about, the struggle. The struggle is real, and how you try to decipher, excuse me, some of the people that you working with. Some of these clients that you working with. A lot of times you think it's going to be something, and it turns out to be, not what you thought it was going to be, man. And a lot of them perpetrate, and they not what they really say that they are. And that's all good, man. But the tough part is you got to sort through that shit, man. And it's a mess sometimes. Also it's kind of difficult sometimes, man, when you feel that you're not getting compensated fairly for your value. It's very tough when you're just starting out. So if you're in the position where you're just starting out, let's say you a couple months, you a couple weeks, you maybe a year, maybe a little bit more than a year in on this, it's still not easy, man. And there's a lot of things that you got to fix up top right here. One of the biggest lessons that I had to learn was protecting your mind. You know what I'm saying? Because the training that you had in general throughout your life, you're not really supposed to be dreaming. You know what I'm saying? Or dreaming is for kids, and believing that you could build something, even though you see other people do it, and it's possible, is usually positioned in a way where that's them, it's not you, right? And so that's a tough one, man. We got to take that into consideration, but that we should still have those dreams. You still can pursue the things that you want, but really up here, man, is the toughest game. It's the toughest game, and let me explain it to you. Being an entrepreneur, being a freelancer, being somebody who's actually going to go out there and take a risk, who's willing to put it all on the line out there, and put yourself on the line, and in pursuit of what you want. The way I can describe it is like this. When you're a freelancer, when you're an entrepreneur, you're somebody who's building things on your terms. And let's just say that this is your whole thing. You're all in. This ain't no part-time gig. You all the way in. It's like stepping into a shower. Okay. You're in the shower and there's roaches in the shower, right? It's gross. Roaches in the shower. And then these roaches represent your fear, right? And you're vulnerable because obviously when you get in the shower, you ain't got no clothes on, you're naked. That's one of the most vulnerable states you can be in. So now you're naked and afraid, kind of like that television show. But in that shower, there's roaches in that shower. And every day you got to get in that shower, right? And there's going to be some roaches. There's going to be some small ones. There's going to be some big, nasty, hairy ones. That they're going to be up in that shower, right? And those roaches represent your fears. A lot of times they never touch you, right? But the thought of it touching you, the thought of why you're in this naked, vulnerable state, that this nasty little critter can come and touch you and crawl on you, the thought alone can cripple you, right? And then you got to go past that thought and you got to go into the action mode, right? And you actually got to get in, you got to take that shower. And sometimes you have to step on them. You got to step on those little roaches. It's gross. You're in a vulnerable state. You don't want to do that. You want a shoe. You want to roll up newspaper. But sometimes you don't have those tools right away. And you have to do it. And that's you facing those fears, man, is like being in there with them roaches, bro. And them roaches all represent your fears. Some are big, some are small. And the thing is you got to be able to put yourself in a mind state where you can still enjoy this shower. Let's just say it's the most beautiful shower you've ever been in your life, right? But it's got roaches. It's riddled with roaches, right? Beautiful, but riddled with roaches. And you got to get into it every day. You don't have to. It's an option. That's the messed up part. It's an option. You don't have to do it. but you can, you know. And these roaches, they represent your fears, and sometimes they touch you, sometimes they don't. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to confront them. Most times they never touch you, but the thought of it can just take you out. You know what I'm saying? Like the thought of even having to go put yourself into that type of situation can take you out of the situation before you even get started. And then once you're in the situation, it's a whole nother game you got to play, and you got to be able to separate it. You got to be able to say, you know what, I'm enjoying this most luxurious thing, you know, this much luxurious showering experience ever, regardless of the roaches and whatever else vermin is in there. It could be rats, spiders, whatever is your fear. Roaches, spiders, they're all nasty. But yeah, and you, right, you have to sit there and be like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta take that, you know, step every day, get up in there, and then you got to be able to separate it and enjoy the experience. Focus on the experience and focus on the task at hand, which is getting clean, right? Getting your body washed up. But enjoying that experience regardless of everything that's going on around you, regardless of the roaches, regardless of you think, man, if I step left, I'm going to squish it. Oh, God, it's going to touch me. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But you have to be able to separate that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what going for it is all about, man. For real. You know, those who are willing to put themselves in that position, you know, you can build up a tolerance. You know what I'm saying? Like you can build it up. Sometimes the fear, I'm gonna tell you this real quick too. The fear itself is so exhausting, right? Like when you step into this game, the fear never goes away. You never get to a point where you're like, oh my God, I can relax, right? Because you might be at the point first where you hustling, you trying to survive. Then you get to the point where you're doing more than surviving and you're actually thriving a little bit. It's a whole new fear that kicks in, right? The first fear is I ain't going to eat. So I got to hustle, go out here and get this money. The second fear, once you get that money, is I can't lose it, right? Now you didn't got it. Now you got to maintain it. And so those fears never go away, right? Because even if you say, man, I got it and I maintain it, you know, the more you get, the more you can lose, right? And that's a whole nother fear in itself, is keeping it. You know what I'm saying? First fear is that you're never going to get it. Then you get it. Then you got to keep it. That's the next fear, you know? And we all go through this. So, you know, if you in this situation, man, you find yourself in this, bro, you know, you're not alone, bro or sister. You know what I'm saying? Male or female, don't matter. Everybody got them fears and we all in it together, but you're not in it alone, man. And you got to get around people who understand where you're coming from. And a lot of times people ain't going to understand where you're coming from because the average person ain't doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? If you crazy enough to believe in yourself, then you can go out here and create something for yourself. You crazy enough to believe that you can demand the value that you feel like you're worth. Right? Most people don't rock like that. You know what I'm saying? Most people go to the job and they get whatever the job give them. I'm not saying that it's always bad, but they get whatever they give them. They don't say, well, I feel like I'm worth this. You know, they could, but that job's going to say, well, you feel that way, but this is what it's worth to us as the company. You know, you don't want to do it. Somebody else will do it. Somebody else might do it for half the price that you're doing it. You might not even be getting good money to begin with. But if you believe that you can make something out of nothing, right? You believe that, you know, that there is a chance. And I'm going to tell you sometimes, man, you be looking at your situation and it don't be looking right. You know what I mean? Like that stuff you be thinking and you be questioning yourself, man. You know what I mean? You be like, for real? How that work, man? You know what I'm saying? People be telling you this, they be telling you that. You know, I don't know. But if you believe it, man, then you got to go for it. And you got to be able to focus on the vision. You got to be able to focus and believe in whatever it is that you believe in, you know, and I'll be making these videos. I might make it for you, but, you know, a lot of times I'll be making that for myself, man, because, you know, every day is a challenge, man. Every day is a struggle, man. And the average person don't understand what you're going through. So it's not a lot of people that you could talk to about this type of thing. You know what I'm saying? But there are people out there, You know, and if you can't talk to them, you can spend time with them on, you know, the internet or whatever the case may be. You know, with the internet, YouTube, you got digital mentors and, you know, people, you can listen to their perspective and see where they coming from. So, you know, what I'm gonna say is that for anybody out there who's foolish enough that they can make their situation better, who's foolish enough to believe that they can make their situation better, right? Who's foolish enough to believe and dream and say that, you know, maybe I could build something, maybe this ain't for me, right? You already know that deep down inside, man. You be sitting around, you be chilling with your peoples, politicking or doing whatever the hell you doing. You at the job, you at school, you do whatever. And you look, and sometimes you ever just separate yourself from the situation. You be like, man, like, this is not me. Like, is this it? There's more than this shit, man. You see people doing it all the time, and it seems like it's easy. It seems like it's overnight. But I bet you talk to them people, they got the same fears that you got, if not even more. And they had to go through the same struggles you got to endure. Everybody takes the steps. We just hope every once in a while we can catch the elevator. I learned that from my man, John Henry. So, well, that's it for me today. Like I said, quick impromptu video. You know, just want to say what's up. Hopefully everybody's journey is going well. Keep your mind right. For all my people out there trying to build a life on their terms and get it how you live, I'm signing out, man. Till the next time. Peace.